about time for a new way. See the writing on the wall, and I've been did the work. Tuck the seeds to the wind so that we can move forward. See what the world needs now, a bit more than a love song. All the hate ain't got us nowhere. New slaves wandering through the forest. When it's all said and done, we that move with sound. Wait and stand in your truth, still your eye or bound. In that moment arise, lose the shackles from your mind. Choose your vibration. Break it down, down. Work it round, round. We got the power you waiting for. The universe is ever calling for. Break it down, down.
You change it. Do her expression. Skip it.
Okay, so I guess we should begin. Welcome everyone to Love 101 Media. This is our Trust is Not a Game edition. Our Trust is Not a Game series. I'm joined by, let's just say the names, Midnight Special. Just wave when I say your name. Dr. Special. Durag Special. Also, I called you Durag Special. You can introduce yourself however you like. And Adaugo. So, and I am Special McSpecialton, also known as Najieb. So welcome. We are going to begin our reading in a moment. But before we do, Clarence, would you like to introduce yourself however you would like to?
I'm from Texas. I live in New York. I've been Naeem's friend for about 2 years now. And I'm just here to listen and get deprogrammed. And, that's all it is. It's all love to everybody.
What part of New York you in?
I'm in Yonkers. So it's like Westchester. It's like a few lights.
Neighbor.
Oh, okay. Where in New York are you?
Riverdale, Bronx. I'm right on the border.
Oh, yeah. I can throw a rocket, hit your house.
I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta, so.
Oh, nice. Are you in Atlanta now?
No, I'm in Harlem.
Oh, shit. Okay, cool. Everybody in New York. I ain't bet money. Yeah, I'm from Houston, though.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
And Adaugo, if you would please introduce yourself however you like.
Hi, I'm Adaugo. I'm from South Jersey, and I'm just here to listen, pretty much.
Okay. So thank you for joining, everyone. The way we normally do is, again, this is Love 101 Media, where our goal is to open the conversation about love and healthy relationships. We use the book and the books that we read as a facilitator of the conversation. So today we're reading in Trust is Not a Game, A Manual for Grace. And that one. And we're going to be in, you got it, Midnight Special. And we're going to be in the first chapter, before the chapter, the lesson on the program. And we're going to cover that in lesson 1 on trust. So normally we all read a page and then we reflect on it and then the next person reads a page. But if you don't want to read and you just want to listen, it's okay too. So I'm just going to share the screen in a moment with everybody. Give me a moment. We will start with you, Midnight Special. If you would like to read, you have the floor.
The program. What is the program? You will hear a lot about the program in this manual. What is the program? The program is your past learning and conditioning about trust and relationships. Another name for the program is fear or distrust. Where does the program come from? The program comes from nowhere. It is nothing. The program exists only in your mind. When you block love or trust, you become aware of the program, distrust. What happens when you follow the program? Following the program is painful. By following the program, you will feel distrust and suspicion in your relationships. By following the program, your relationships become dysfunctional. Here's something to be aware of. Everyone is programmed. It is important to remember that you are programmed and everyone is programmed. The program is an illness you must heal from. This illness is in your mind. The faster you realize your thought processes are sick, the faster you can heal them. This is a manual for training and healing your mind. Your mind creates your thoughts, and your thoughts create your life. Therefore, if your mind is poisoned, your thoughts are poisoned. If your thoughts are poisoned, everything that comes from your thoughts will be sick and dysfunctional.
Thank you, Midnight Special. Dr. Special, are you in a position to continue?
Yeah. So next page or right here. You will
Right
use
here.
you will use those 6 thoughts to continue to hurt yourself through your feelings, your words, your actions, and your habits. This manual will tell the truth about the programming in your mind. When you know the truth about the program, you can lighten up a little, step back, and give yourself and everyone in your life some grace, which is what the manual is all about, grace. If you are interested in learning the tools to do that, turn the page as we begin our first lesson on trust.
Thank you. So that's just a kind of introduction of the program, because in studying and learning about trust, we're also learning about distrust, which is the program. So, Adaugo, are you willing to read, or will you just be listening?
I'll just be listening.
Okay.
I'll read another page.
Okay, and then we'll have Do-Rag Special after you.
All right. 1, trust. What is it? We need a common understanding of what trust is before we can talk about having it. Have a conversation with your partner about the following questions. What is trust? What does trust mean to you? Do you trust yourself? Are you a trustworthy person? What makes someone trustworthy? Can trust be lost, and can it be found? How so? Can trust be broken? Can it be fixed? How so? Is trust earned? And are there levels to trust? There are a few important questions to ask. Why? Because we need to know exactly what we are talking about when we use the word trust. We can agree that everyone wants to trust and to be trusted. Can we? Yeah, I guess I can agree. All right, now let's discuss what trust is.
Okay, so before we do, let's look at these questions. So, what does trust mean to you? Let's start with that. So, anyone, would you like to share what that means to you?
It's different trying to like verbalize it, you know. Like we all probably have this very same sentiment of or idea on as far as interaction, but I'm just trying to think about verbalizing it.
Okay. Blessed Love, welcome. Blu Sky, welcome. Midnight Special, any insights on what does trust mean to you?
I think everybody's definition is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No,
I
go ahead.
usually take trust to be about certainty. So if I can trust something, I know, like, if I can trust someone to arrive somewhere, I know they will. Like, it's just this implicit, I feel like I know the answer. It is certain. And that's why not doing that can be deemed untrustworthy.
Okay.
I think of it as far as trusting somebody's intentions, or like, I think of it as far as like knowing that if I say I trust in you, I think that this person has strong intentions to do what they say they would do.
Okay. Do-Rag Special, you were saying?
I was just gonna say I think everybody's definition of trust is different. So like what you consider is, trust might be different from what I consider as trust. And everybody learned trust differently. Like what your parents taught you about trust, your brothers and sisters, your friends growing up, like, you took that with you and created, your own thing. So it's just one of those words where everybody's gonna define it different, like love or marriage, like it means something different to everybody.
I agree. And that's why the conversation is the first point to start. We're having a conversation with each other now about it. And the next page, we're going to talk about having a conversation with the program about it. What does the program think and such? I remember walking past this couple.
Oh, go ahead.
Blu, were you going to say something?
Yes, I wanted to comment on trust. For me, I've been experiencing trust. I feel like at a deeper level, not more so as if a person tells the truth or not, but more so trusting the process and whatever the overall lesson is to be learned. And sometimes people are in situations where it's not like a black and white, you told me the truth, or just trusting the whole process that whatever happens in the relationship, in the partnership, that it's for the highest good. So trusting in the all or the higher self, because I've been in situations where the superficial trust, I'll say, where it seemed like I was told a lie. I just didn't necessarily understand what was going on in its entirety. So I had to just step back and trust the process. But it left me kind of feeling like a fool, but you know, I'm trusting.
Okay. Thank you for that insight.
I like that.
Trusting the process. Yeah. All right. Well, Dr. Special has walked away from the screen. So has Do-Rag Special. So it looks like it's just.
I'm here. I'm just doing
it's-
two things at the same time. It's raining in New York, so
okay.
some outside stuff I have to do inside. All right, you need me to read something?
We're gonna. It's gonna be you after Dr. Special reads this page. Then with the discussion with the program, you and I are gonna read that together.
Do it.
Okay. So Dr. Special, we are now at this point.
Discussion with the program. We're going to have a dialogue with the program about its viewpoints on trust. Then we would tell the truth about trust. We're going to use simple common sense to dialogue with the program.
All right, me and Do-Rag Special got this. Let's start with this question. What is trust? Program principal. Trust is complicated. Come on here. The program believes trust is complicated and complex. So our discussion topic is, what is trust? I'm going to be the program, so I'm going to be the program voice. So, trust is complicated, Do-Rag Special?
Am I common sense?
Yes.
Why does it have to be complicated?
You know, everybody has their own way of seeing it.
Well, let's decide on a common way of seeing it then.
It's not that easy. Come on.
Why not? Do you want trust in your relationships?
Yeah, man. What kind of question is that? Of course.
So how can you have something if you can't even say what it is?
I don't know. All right. Now let's look at the truth about trust. Blue, are you in a position to read?
Yes.
Okay.
Trust principle. Trust is simple. So what is trust? Trust is love, and love is trust. It is impossible to trust someone without loving them. It is impossible to love someone without trusting them. You do not have to believe this because it is true. Love is a universal principle, therefore, it is not open to personal interpretation. Love is trust. Love is simple. Therefore, trust is simple. Moving on. How do you trust? Program principle. Trust depends on what you say and do. The program believes that trust depends on what you say and do, and what you don't say and don't do.
There the program go messing with your connection again, Blue, but we made it though. We made it. Thank you for reading.
Okay. Okay.
Now, Midnight Special and Dr. Special, will y'all take this page, please? And Dr. Special, since Can you be on this side? And Midnight
Discussion
Special.
topic.
Yes, the special side.
Trust. How do you trust? The program. I can only trust if you learn. I'm sorry. I can only trust if I can rely on your word.
What does that mean?
Well, if you tell me you'll be somewhere at a certain time, I expect you to be there.
So if I show up on time, you trust me, and if I'm late, you don't trust me?
Well, you mean you're only good as your word.
If I have an emergency and I can't make it, does that make me untrustworthy?
No, not necessarily.
So you can't say that someone's word and actions will create trust in every situation, every time, can you?
Please continue, Midnight Special.
Trust principle. Trust is a choice. Trust has absolutely nothing to do with what anyone says or does. That is a lie. Universal truth test. If what someone says or does cannot produce the same result, trust, in every single situation, with every single person, every single time, what was said or done is totally meaningless. You give it all the meaning it has for you.
Okay. Do-Rag Special, will you continue?
Trust is a decision. That's where we are.
We are here. If you do not trust others.
My bad. All right. If you do not trust others, it is because you do not trust yourself. Your ability to trust has absolutely nothing to do with them and absolutely everything to do with you. Trust is a decision you make. Nothing anyone can do can cause you to trust them or stop trusting them. You have the power of decision. Moving on. Program principle. There are levels to trust. The program believes that trust has levels, which means that it can be measured. Where do you find levels? In games.
In games.
I see what you did there. You connected to the first book. Okay.
Yes, that's right. You know, we're on level 32 right now. About to get to the 36th chamber. All right, so
Your trust is at level 32.
yeah, it's getting up there. All right. Welcome, Arazel. And blessed love, I forgot to ask if you were willing to read or you'll just be listening tonight. So if you don't respond.
I'll just be listening tonight. That's okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Arazel, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
Hello. Are you willing to read?
I am.
Okay, then you and I will take the next page here. We got a dialogue. Hello. A dialogue here.
Special McSpecialton?
Yes, we are using our screen names today, and I am Special McSpecialton.
All right. I love it. Am I starting or are you starting?
I'll be on the special, aka the program side. So the discussion topic is, how is trust measured? You know, I trust some people more than I trust others. It's just simple as that.
Common sense.
How often do we hear this?
How is that possible?
Well, it depends, you know. Like if we know each other for a long time.
Sorry. So you're saying trust increases over time. More time equals more trust, pretty much?
You know, pretty much. Couldn't say it better myself.
Then you must trust everyone you've known for a long time then, right?
No, stop raining on my parade. It's about the relationship, okay? It's about the bond. Like my family. I trust my family because they're my blood.
So are you saying there's some sort of genetic marker for trust?
Stop playing. No. You know what I mean. It's you just don't trust everybody the same.
Okay, so I don't know what you mean because you've never even defined trust. Could it be that you're talking about something else and calling it trust?
That's what she said.
That's what she said. I'm so bad. What?
It's the program. You expect it to make sense?
All right, that's a good point.
So you got to step all the way into the persona if you're going to be reading this. It's got to be, you know, all the way there. So thank you, everyone. Let me bow after my scene here. So trust principle. Trust is maximal. Trust cannot be measured. You either trust or you do not. Trust is maximal all the time, just like love. There are no increments or levels because trust is not a game. All right. So, Blu, does someone want to say something about that? Share anything?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I definitely agree with that. Trust is a decision that you can make in any moment at any time. You just decide whether or not you trust somebody. It really just depends on you making that decision.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like you've been reading the book, because somewhere in here it says something like that trust is a decision. Wait, it's not here. It is up in here. All right. Yeah, there we go. Trust is a decision you must make. So,
Yeah.
yes.
If you think about it, so often I hear, oh, somebody has to gain your trust, or you know, we hear, I don't trust him that much, or as if it's some sort of spectrum of measurement at which we can quantify. But I mean, I do like the fact that trust is always maximal. It's like you either trust somebody or you're not. Like, and if you don't trust nobody, then that's that. And yeah, people be like, oh, I'm working on trusting him. It's like, you know, it becomes like some sort of monitoring of actions or evaluation and assessment of actions in order to get to that point. But without realizing that, are you going to decide to trust or not? And,
You know that. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's all I got to say.
I was saying, you know what that made me think of when you said, I'm working on trusting him. It's like when we say the word try, like there's really no try. You either do or you don't. It's like, I'm working on, you know, sitting down in this chair right now. I'm working on it. It's like you either sitting down or you standing up. You stand like, see if I can, like I'm standing here looking at the chair like, you know, Naeem, sit down. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But are you sitting down? I'm working on sitting. You don't see me working on sitting down right now? You don't see me work? All right. I'm trying. I'm working on it. It's like, so to just sit down then. You get what I mean? It's like you either doing it or you're not doing it. So while you're working on it, you're not doing it. That's pretty much it. And if we can just be honest about that, no, I don't trust anybody. That's fine. But you at least have a little more peace in your decisiveness about where you stand, rather than thinking that you're a bad person for not trusting anybody, or that you need to say words that sound nice. Like, yeah, I'm working on trusting people. I'll be honest. I don't trust anybody's words or actions, meaning I don't trust the form and I do trust the content. So when someone says, Naeem, I'll see you later on, you know, at our meeting at 8:00 tonight. I don't trust that. Do I trust that they want to? Yes. So that's the bottom line. All right. Welcome, CalySōl.
Can I ask a question? Like,
Yeah.
how much is like trust related to hurt? Because like, if I can like trust you, or like a person could trust you not to hurt them, like, isn't that like enough? Like, I don't know.
Do you mean the hurt as in like the coughing the coronies on you hurt, or the hurt where it's like the emotional hurt?
It depends on what hurts you. Like for some people, infidelity hurts them. For other people, it's like, you know, your body's your body. For some people, you know, saying something that hits below the belt is like, you know, that's a rough spot for me. So why would you hit me there? So that could eliminate trust. But you know what I mean?
I hear you. So anybody want to say something about that?
Oh yeah, do you mind if I do?
Sure. Sounds like you doing a lot. Are you
working
on
plate? Like what's
cooking over there? That's
I
great.
am making some pasta. I just hear them some cornbread, you know.
I'm jealous. Don't say no more. I'm just talk to
you know, I mean, we all need those layers of nourishment. You know, I got my mind being nourished right now. You know what I'm saying? I got to nourish my body. I was just gonna say, yeah, I could say that with any individual, like what inspires trust in you or what dispels it from you is still like dependent on you and how you feel and what you decide to do. And I do think that context, like every situation is different. I think another way it can be looked at is like as far as how a person may decide what they trust a person with. So like how Naeem was saying, he doesn't really, they do want to, even with people who cheat or who lie or something like that, maybe they would like to believe that they can be that person. Or maybe they don't and they just are afraid of being honest about who they are because they think that means they're just going to lose the person. I think that it's still up to you, like if you're going to decide to trust them again and what steps you're going to take with that person, you know, to feel safer with them. But it still comes down to your own decision, what you'll allow and what you don't.
Yeah. I mean, to kind of go back to your question on like, is it related to hurt? I wouldn't necessarily say it's directly related to hurt, but when someone, I guess, is not delivering their trust, or if someone does deliver their trust, they're also creating awareness of the fact that, you know what, I'm not okay with certain things, or I'm not, like, I may be hurt if you do X, Y, and Z. So should I allow myself to be vulnerable and trust you to, but I don't know. It's just like, it's interesting.
Well, you did change your name to Don't Trust These Hoes. So, I mean, I appreciate your honesty in that. And
I think it makes sense, but at some like he's saying, like at some point you're not just trusting the class, you trust them because like you did with the chair, like you want to be able to put your weight on something. Mm-hmm. So if I step out on you, like, are you going, you know, trust is, you know, can I step out on you for whatever?
I think I would trust that is where the person is at that time. I would trust that maybe they're not feeling monogamous right now. So it's like, I guess, again, it's like what you trust could probably change, or like what you decide to trust can change. Yeah. So maybe it's just a situation in which you're learning something different about that person, and you're learning like, okay, so maybe that's something that I don't trust that you won't ever do again. But you could trust maybe that you can still have a healthy or successful relationship with them depending on what you decide to do and what decisions you make moving forward after that point.
Yeah.
And it's also about what you allow to hurt you in terms of how you feel about the situation. So if someone steps out of you on you, is it the same as you use the example of hitting below the belt? Naeem was like, did they give you the coronavirus? Are they physically attacking you? Are they pouring grits on you? Like what? Are they physically hurting you? You can look at the facts. Okay, they cheated. That is a fact. How am I going to take that information? How am I going to let that affect me? Am I going to be hurt, or can I just say, okay, this person stepped out, so clearly they might be looking for something else, and I have to be accepting of that. And if I so choose to go my separate way in terms of that relationship, then that's your decision. But whether or not you get hurt is also your decision.
Oh shoot!
It also yeah. It also just goes back to like taking responsibility for your feelings, and also too, It's just, again, just taking pretty much what you said, taking responsibility as far as what you allow to hurt you, and then also recognizing that I'm giving that the power to hurt me. And so at the end of the day, even if you're honest about, you know what, this is going to hurt me, then it's like, all right, you still have the decision to leave and protect your peace, you know? And so it's like, you might as well, I don't know, in my mind, it's like, you might as well trust somebody wholly. And at the end of the day, if that person truly is trying to hurt you, then, or if you, or it's so like dynamic, because like everybody has like different feelings towards different situations. So like, I don't know. I'm done with that. I'm not sure if it makes sense.
It did make sense. What I heard was trust, but keep your eyes open. Because I feel like how people deal with other people, eventually, depending on how they feel, they're gonna deal with you like that. So you can develop trust on a person or about a person based on how you see they interact with their other friends and their other family, how they treated their exes. Like you get a good glimpse of who they are if you're not blind to the bullshit, you know?
But also, it's like, again, well, we'll get to it. I'm sure we're gonna get to it. But you're trusting are you trusting an action? And I think that to place your peace in a situation where your trust that's dependent upon an action or a form, that can be very volatile. Or to place your peace, right? Let's say I place my peace in the fact that this person says he's gonna come to my party. You know what I'm saying? If my pieces are dependent upon that person, then I need to look into the mirror, you know? And see where my peace lies, you know? And if my piece lies in that, in someone else's action or what someone else is doing, I need to be pretty much looking in the mirror. But then again, you know, well, yeah, that's it.
No, I agree, and I'm definitely hearing you over there. I definitely think that we can trust people to reveal who they are, you know, and I think that you can decide on whether or not you're going to trust that they mean it when they say that they do love you or they do care for you. You can probably also trust that they're always going to be who they are. So even if you may have certain things that bother you and they end up doing something like that, then you can trust then that, like, okay, so this is a person. Well, that was something I wanted to say earlier. I trust that everybody can hurt me. Everybody is capable of harming others in some way or another. Everybody's capable of doing things I don't like or that make me uncomfortable. So I already trust that that's going to happen in any of my relationships. So that's something that I trust. I trust for people to be human and to probably do something I'm not gonna like, whether it be, you know, lying to me about something or anything else. It's like people do stuff like that. So that's actually something I do kind of trust to happen. I think for me, it's about the ability to identify the content. You know, I was basically just going to say that I do expect for people to do things that I'm not going to like and that I may at the time believe to be harmful to me. That's something that I just expect out of other humans. And I think that what I really try to focus on is knowing the difference between when somebody is acting out of love or out of fear, even if it's out of self-love, which I think is very valid and very important. So even if you're doing something that I don't like, but it's coming from a place of love and empowerment from yourself, cool. Then I have to just decide whether or not that's something I want to interact with, you know, and how I would like to continue interacting with that person. So yeah, I do think that we can always trust people. I think it's just like what it is that we're trusting, what we're putting our trust in, and like was being mentioned before, like if you're putting trust in actions that can kind of set you up for disappointment sometimes. Maybe not all the time, but a lot of the time, I feel like it could.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to give a little more background behind the mindset of the book, because we talk about in Love 101, love love is trust and trust is love. Love is a mindset and a skill set, not just a concept. So we're talking about the mindset of trust. Like, how would trust see this situation? How would trust see cheating or stepping out or low blows? How would trust see this romantic relationship? How would trust see this? How would love see this? How would love think about it? And that's the whole purpose of the book, because nobody here is wrong or right unless you have chosen a curriculum for which to align your thought processes with. And if it's one that says, well, this is the clarity chart of how the program thinks and how love thinks. If you're thinking on this side, it's the program. If you're thinking on this side, it's love. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions and thoughts and feelings. The problem becomes that the progress that you make in a healthy relationship will be negative progress, meaning it will be backwards progress when you don't have a consistent thought system with the other person, because you will take 2 steps forward, oh, we're getting somewhere, and then 3 steps back, oh, what the hell happened? Because it's based on feelings and opinions and how I'm feeling in this moment, rather than thinking greater than how you feel. And that's a big point of this, is to think greater than what we feel in the moment. So I just wanted to add that as a more background behind where the lesson is coming from in the book. So with that said, are you prepared to read CalySōl, or shall we?
I can read.
Okay, so you and who else is available? And Clarence, will you take the program side when she gets to that point? And then CalySōl, you can read the common sense side. Well, Clarence is not even in front of the camera right now, so let me ask somebody else. General Soul, will you do it? Okay. So CalySōl, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Program principle. Trust can be lost or broken. The program believes trust can be broken or lost. Let's discuss. The discussion topic is, how can trust be broken or lost? I am the program.
Thank you for boldly stepping into that role.
I am the program. When you don't follow through on your promise, you lose my trust.
How can you find it? Do we file a missing trust report?
That's not funny. You break my trust, you betrayed me, and betrayal hurts. Our trust is broken.
I'm looking for solutions to your ambiguous problem around trust. If trust has been broken, how do we fix it?
It depends on how I feel. You have to earn my trust back.
Trust
Hey, I'm a good program here, you know?
You are. You're very good. I feel very triggered.
Good.
Yes, that's your job.
So is trust a feeling now, or is trust a currency that can be earned, or both?
You know what? You're making this complicated.
You started by saying it was complicated. Now I see why.
Because it is.
Maybe it's not complicated at all. Maybe it's just the way you're looking at it.
Crickets.
All right. So, trying to see if anyone else is willing to read. Oh, Naeem, are you willing to read? Yes, I am. Okay. Trust principle. Trust is always present. Trust cannot be lost. You may not be aware of it, but that does not mean it's missing. Trust is not made of glass and it does not break. Trust is love and love cannot be threatened. No one can betray you. It is your expectations that are betrayed. Okay. Program belief. You have trust issues, okay? If you have trouble understanding trust, the program will say you have trust issues. This is not true. There can be no issues with trust because trust is truth and the program is a liar. Like the devil's a liar? Yeah, this program's a liar. The program, here's an important point. The program is using the word trust, but is not speaking of trust at all. It is speaking of expectations. So what does that mean? It means you do not have trust issues. What you have are expectation issues. Big point. It is your expectations that get broken, not your trust. It is your expectations that get betrayed, not your trust. Expectations are premeditated grievances waiting to happen. We will explore expectations in a later lesson. Now for the conclusion, see who's available. Arazel and Muhammad, are y'all willing to read this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Only if Muhammad says and acknowledges how special I am to him. Because that's the only way we can possibly conceive together.
You are so delicious, special in your life. You are the most special Arazel.
I really appreciate you.
Now look at my name now. Look at my screen now.
I'm feeling
So anyway, I have no word. I'm going on mute so y'all don't hear. Oh, you mother.
Oh no.
And we're back with the reading for Arazel and Muhammad, who is so special that they will take this last page together. So
trust. I'll read the lies.
Okay.
Because you are the only special truth in my life.
Oh.
Lies.
I thought it was because men lie.
Trust is complicated. It cannot be explained.
Trust is simple. Trust is love.
The lie. Trust is about what others do and say.
Truth. Trust is all about you. It's your decision.
Trust has levels and can be measured.
Trust is maximal. Trust is not measured.
Trust can be lost and found.
Trust is always present.
Trust can be broken and fixed.
Trust cannot be threatened by anything.
Trust is fragile.
Trust is strength.
Trust must be earned.
Trust is free.
Now that you have a thorough introduction to what trust is and what trust is not, it's time to cover the most important lesson in this manual: form and content. If you learn this lesson well, you will never be deceived about trust again. Ready? Let's begin.
All right.
Woo!
That was great.
Nailed it.
All right. So, how's everybody feeling?
Feeling trusting.
Same.
So, takeaways from that chapter. Anybody? Any takeaways? Any questions? Any comments?
Trust is love. That hit me.
Okay.
Trust cannot be betrayed, but your expectations are what are betrayed, and it's not even betrayed by the other person, but it's you betraying yourself.
Ooh, that's deep.
I thought about, the word vulnerability kept coming to my mind. And, you know, I oftentimes think about us being vulnerable, and it oftentimes require trust. Vulnerability and trust kind of like goes hand, or seem to be synonymous to me, only because when you trust that person, you do open yourself up to be vulnerable, and you open yourself up to be, well, yeah, you just open yourself up to be vulnerable. And, you know, we oftentimes look at vulnerability as weakness, but when you just said vulnerability is, or trust is strength, I thought about actually maybe vulnerability is strength too. You know, your ability to be open and, you know, and transparent, and just because sometimes, like, when you aren't trusting of that person, you also begin to wear a mask. And you wear a mask and you put on this person. If you don't trust nobody, you don't trust that person to be your complete self, right? You know, it's really, I don't trust you. People say I don't trust you, but really you're saying I don't trust myself to be my complete self with you. And
That's perfect.
And that has what been like kind of resonating me. You're saying I don't trust I don't trust myself to be completely vulnerable with you, and which we don't realize is that actually, even if you are triggered by someone cheating or someone doing all these harmful things that perceivably, maybe it's, if you trust, you also end up trusting the process, and you going through the process of being hurt is not necessarily a bad thing, you know, and then they're bringing learnings there from that, may also bring growth and so many things come from that, you know. And so we always look at crying and being hurt as such a, like, I know I do, but I always looked at crying and being hurt as such a, like, bad. It's like, oh man, it's such a bad thing. But like, to feel that way can promote, you know, a whole nother process that allows you to grow. And it's just like, wow, being transparent and being trusting can really make you a better person in your relationships, and really make you a better, allow down the road, just bring about the process of growth in other ways too.
And you said an important thing about vulnerability is strength. To be able to express vulnerability, you have to feel safe. So I invite everybody to think about this question: how can I feel safe in a relationship? What can I offer someone to help them feel safe? And what do I want to feel safe in a relationship with someone else? That's just something that I want to put out there.
No, these are deep questions. That's a deep question. That's a great question. And
I think one of the things that I think about.
It made me think about, like, armor and going into battle. Like, you don't feel safe when you don all this heavy armor, because you know you're going to be attacked, you know, and it would be stronger to, you know, like, you must have some kind of confidence, some kind of power that nobody knows about, for you to go basically stark naked onto a battlefield. So if you feel like, I don't have enough protection, I don't have enough faith in my own capabilities and my own strengths to be left vulnerable, I'm going to put on these walls, mass protection.
But even with that, though, the interesting thing I just thought about is, like, you putting on those armors is acknowledging and recognizing yourself as a body. And the real term and basis of a lot of love is that you are not your body. And the basis of trust and everything that all of this stems from is that you are not your body. So that's really the premises. And when you are wearing these masks and everything, you're protecting your body, which is your emotions, and you're protecting the really superficial things that, without realizing that you're still innocent.
Mm. That so y'all both brought up some really good points that got me thinking over here, and this actually kind of connects to something I had been thinking about for a while, in regards to like vulnerability or when it comes to trusting other people. So, funny short story, really short. I was just like at this camp thing, like in the mountains in Vermont. And I remember I was talking about this one person, and I was like, I don't know if I trust that person. And then it was a few moments after when I was like, is it that you don't trust that person or you don't trust yourself around that person? Like, I think sometimes we don't trust that we are able to protect ourselves. I think that sometimes we don't trust that we just trust our own capabilities. And I think a lot of the time we project that outside of ourselves, like, oh, I can't trust them. Where sometimes it's like, really, like, is it that I just don't trust myself and my own abilities? There's like one thing that I just thought about that brought up for me. The other thing that I thought about was how nothing that is real can be threatened. So the idea of putting on armor is already acknowledging that there's a threat, basically. It's basically saying there's a threat, you know. And I think that it actually, like what you were just saying, like with the desire to protect your body and identifying so much with with one's body, so kind of feeling like, oh, my life is in danger, or I'm under attack, where you're not really. And that's also what like triggers are, right? Like when we're triggered, it's like we're in a moment where we're thinking that we're experiencing attack when we aren't actually. Ooh, say that again, please.
No, I just wanted to name. You mind? I can't hear. I can't hear you speak because there's a lot of racket.
Oh.
You mind muting? But go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, no, you're fine. Actually, it could also be where I'm at. Let me figure this out. But yeah, that was just basically what my thoughts were. Was just the idea of being able to trust yourself.
Ryan's talk on trust for his book, which he gave everybody a copy but me. But
yeah, I ain't get a copy either, so it's all good.
Welcome, Tyomi.
Welcome.
hey.
Yeah, so were you done, Arazel?
Oh yeah, basically.
Okay. So how's everybody feeling? Are we all ready to go to the next chapter?
Yeah.
Does anyone need to sign off?
I just want to say this is a great discussion, and I really enjoyed this part. It really gets it. Like speaking on trust specifically, we read through Love and Not a Game, you know, a couple, but it's like thinking about trust specifically is hitting some nerves because sometimes, man, I don't be trusting people. I'll be out here like, yo, man, I don't trust these white folks, bro. Or I'll be like, I don't trust, or I'll be in places but it's like when you was like, do you feel safe? And I think that's what it was for me when I don't say I don't trust nobody, I don't feel safe around y'all. And it's just like saying feeling safe is, as a man, it sounds less, less versus saying I don't trust you. I don't trust you, bro. But it's just like I'm not gonna be like I don't feel safe. But then again, that's just whole dumb stuff.
That's why it all comes down to feeling safe. If you don't feel safe, you can't be vulnerable, or you won't feel comfortable being vulnerable. And again, like you were saying, you talked about masks in another talk, Muhammad, about wearing masks and how wearing masks just means you're not being yourself. And we want people to be themselves and to be vulnerable and to express what's on their heart and mind. But then what happens is we have to have training to realize that what's going on in someone else's heart and mind, or the pain they're causing themselves about that, has nothing to do with you or anyone else. And that's the thing, you know, we internalize it and make it about us. And that's where we shut down and we feel attacked. And the thing is, unless you're being physically attacked, you're not being attacked. And you talked about we're not our bodies and etc. So although that sounds good, it's hard, of course, when you're being triggered and that stuff is coming up in the moment. At the same time, back to thinking greater than how we feel. Can we think greater than how we feel when our feelings are telling us lies about our partner? And the lie has to be anything that's not pointing toward their innocence, their importance in your life, and the fact that every encounter is a holy encounter and everyone in your life is there for a purpose, and it's a purpose beyond what your ego thinks. And the ego's plans and purpose is always going to have something to do with the body. By ego, I mean the program. It's always going to be like, well, we're supposed to see each other, talk to each other, be together, you know, text or whatever has to do with the body. Whereas the real purpose we're in each other's lives is to remind us that we all represent another, a part of each other's minds, a part of the one mind. And those people in our lives that are crazy or insane that we call, it's just the insane part of our mind. That's why we can recognize it. If you didn't also have a crazy part of your mind, how could you recognize the craziness of somebody else? So it's always about us. It's not about anyone else, you know. But yeah, so again, if anyone needs to sign off or anything, it's fine. It's we're just here, and we will continue with the chapter on form and content. And if you're able to read, then great. If not, also okay. So, Blue, are you in a position to read?
Yes.
Okay.
Form and content. The most important lesson. Pay close attention. You are about to learn the most important lesson in this manual, the lesson of form and content. Why are form and content so important?
Blue, the program is messing up your connection again.
Everything in
You
this
know how it is.
manual is based on form and content. Oh.
I'm just saying, it's not your fault, but it's always targeting you for some reason. I don't know what this is about. But let's try it one more time, okay? So we were at this point, everything in this manual is based on form and content. So, okay.
Okay. Everything in this manual is based on form and content. Your grasp of anything offered in this manual rests upon your grasp of form and content. With an understanding of form and content, you will save yourself unnecessary confusion in your life and relationships. There will literally be nothing and no one that can confuse you. Without an understanding of form and content, you will be fooled by the program's lies every time. The good news is that form and content are very easy to understand. Let's start with content. What is content? Content is a thought system. A thought system is a way of thinking about something. There are only two thought systems, the thought system of love and the thought system of fear, the program.
You made it, Blue. Yay. You got through that.
Yay!
Thank you. All right. Clarence, are you still there? Are you able to read?
Yeah, I can read.
All right, great.
What part? Truth principle?
Yes.
All right, there are only two kinds of content, love and fear. Love expresses itself in many ways. Fear expresses itself in many ways. Just like water has many expressions of itself, there's liquid, water, gas, steam, solid, ice, snow, etc. It is all made of the same content, H2O. We just call it by different names. I'm trying to scroll up, my bad. The following, it's a sentence I meant.
Oh, sorry.
The following clarity chart will show you the different expressions of love and fear.
Okay. So, all right, we got a clarity chart. Tyomi, are you in a position to read?
I am.
Okay, and Naeem, will you read the other side of this? So, Tyomi, you can read the fear side, and Naeem, you can read the love side.
I'm reading the fear side.
Yes.
Fear expressed as trust.
Love expressed as trust.
Fear expressed as communication, miscommunication.
Love expressed as communication.
Fear expressed as ingratitude.
Love expressed as gratitude.
Fear expressed as confusion.
Love expressed as clarity.
Fear expressed as misery.
Love expressed as happiness.
Fear expressed as guilt.
Love expressed as innocence.
Fear expressed as disrespect.
Love expressed as respect.
Fear expressed as imprisonment, limitation.
Love expressed as freedom and unlimited.
Fear expressed as attack.
Love expressed as protection and safety.
Fear expressed as judgment.
Love expressed as acceptance.
Fear expressed as uncertainty.
Love expressed as certainty.
Fear expressed as lies.
Love expressed as truth.
Okay, that's the whole chart and the whole page. Thank you both. Just want to offer a little more clarity around this clarity chart. The program wants everything to be complicated and confusing. This is the simplest that my brain, my mind, can express these ideas. So everything on this side of fear is the same thing. Meaning, if you feel misery, you're feeling fear. If you feel distrust, you're feeling fear. If you're feeling attacked, you're feeling fear, etc., etc. And on the other side, if you're feeling trust, you're feeling love. And another word for feeling is experience. So if you're experiencing communication, you're experiencing love. If you're experiencing clarity or happiness, you're experiencing love. So it doesn't get much more simple than that. So if I would implore anyone, including myself, to remember this, and when you want to remember anything else, let's keep it simple. Question is, how do you feel right now? I feel guilty. So what does that mean? That means that I feel fear. And in the context of trust and distrust, that means I feel distrust. Guilt goes with distrust. Confusion goes with distrust. Imprisonment and limitation goes with distrust. They are all the same thing. It's like a mathematical equation. And if you only get this one page from the manual, if I had to rip apart every page and just give you one page, it would be this page. That's what I'm saying. Everything else is just a narrative and a explanation on this. But if you understand this, you can write 1,000 books about 1,000 things on all of these topics, and it'll all still be true. So I'm not doing anything special here. All I'm doing is taking this formula, and when we want to talk about feeling disrespected, then we're talking about feeling fear. We want to talk about feeling accepted by someone, we're talking about love. It's all the same thing. It all comes back to this. I just wanted to say that.
It's funny. I could create a narrative that, like, hey, when I feel accepted, I feel protected. I feel. You got to pick the chart back
up. I got you. Hold on.
It's just like if I say I feel accepted, I'm going to feel clarity about somebody. I'm going to feel respect. I'm going to feel innocent. I'm going to feel gratitude. I'm going to feel trust, and I'm going to feel communication. And I can think about the situation where if I feel like somebody's disrespecting me, I'm going to feel like somebody's attacking me. Somebody's judging me. Somebody's, confused about me. Somebody's ungrateful about me. I'm going to feel like somebody's, not distrusting me. So yeah, it makes sense because these are all very similar emotions and similar expressions that kind of like go along. And this thing is crazy like that it stems from fear.
Exactly. It's content. So not only are they similar, they are equal. They are equivalent. Distrust is no greater than ingratitude. They're the same thing. How can you be grateful for somebody and also distrust them? How can you be ungrateful and or grateful? Yeah, same thing. Ungrateful and trust them. So it's the same thing over and over. And then this is your chance to take a screenshot or whatever, because that's the, like, if you take anything, just take that, please. And so I'm gonna leave it for a couple more seconds, then we'll continue with the reading. And Muhammad, will you continue with the next page?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, we're here. We're ready for you when you're ready.
All right. So, trust is not a game made with grace. Did you notice which thought system, content, or did you notice which thought system trust is under? And did you also notice which thought system distrust is under? Here's something that will make this idea very simple to grasp. Everything under the thought system of love is the content of love. In other words, every expression of love is love. Therefore, trust is love. Certainty is love. Freedom is love, which also means freedom is trust and certainty is trust. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Makes sense. On the other side, we have the thought system of fear. And everything in fear is fear. Therefore, distrust is fear. Uncertainty is fear. Judgment is fear, which also means uncertainty is distrust, and judgment is distrust. Simple. Now let's talk about form.
All right. CalySōl, are you in a position to read?
Form. So what is form? If content is the way you think about things, form is the things you think about. These things include absolutely everything you can think about. Examples of form are people, places. Ooh,
Places.
child. Places, things, bodies, food, money, business, symbols of time. No, not symbols of time. I'm sorry. Symbols, time, space, relationships, the universe. Anything you see, anything you touch, anything you hear, anything you smell, anything you taste, anything real or imagined are all examples of form. Anything whatsoever. A simple rule is this: if you can detect it with your 5 senses, it is form. Truth principle. Form means absolutely nothing. You give form all the meaning it has to you. Everything on the level of form is neutral. All form is totally meaningless in itself. The program doesn't believe this, though. The program believes that form has some inherent meaning. There's a way you can test if something is form or content. How, you ask? It's called the Universal Truth Test.
All right. Zellian, are you in a position to read?
That I am, sir.
All right. Let's do it.
Alrighty. The Universal Truth Test, the test of truth. How do you perform the Universal Truth Test? Ask these 3 questions. Universal Truth Test, the test of form and content. Question number 1, will this thing produce the same result as content in every single situation? Question number 2, will blank produce the same results with every single person? And question number 3, will blank produce the same results every single time. Let's test it out. Let's have a discussion based on this program principle or lie about it. Program principle. All form has inherent meaning. No, it doesn't. All form is meaningless. I was just writing. It just tickles me so much. Okay. Let's prove that by using our good friend, common sense.
I'm glad that you find it so entertaining. That's good.
I do. I love it, actually.
I want the reading to be fun. Okay. So, Miss Special, are you prepared to read?
Yes.
Me? Oh. Wait, who's Miss Special? I have to go look now.
Yeah, you gotta look. You gotta.
Because you're Special McSpecialton.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Special. Hey, what's up, Miss Special?
What's good?
Dr. Special's back now. Check it out. Dr. Special's back. So.
Yes.
We're not even related.
All right. Special McSpecialton and Miss Special will read this page. So, discussion topic. Why do you think form has meaning? So, specialness, my side, program. You know, relationships are formed, but relationships have meaning, you guys. Come on.
Please explain.
Like friendships, you know. You love your friends, right? Therefore, friendships are loving. Yeah.
Does everyone feel the same way about your friendships? Does everyone love your friends?
No, that's not what I said.
Do you feel the same way about all friendships? Do you love everyone's friends?
No, come on, you're thinking too hard.
Well, if everyone on Earth doesn't give every friendship the same meaning in every situation, every time, friendship has no inherent meaning. You give friendship all the meaning it has to you.
Come on, you. You can use your common sense and the universal truth test to shut down the program every single time. Let's look at another core truth principle and discuss it. So, core truth principle. Form cannot cause content, love, or fear in any situation ever. Form cannot cause love or fear in any situation ever. Tyomi, are you in a position to read?
Yes. Where am I starting from? Okay, this means that there is absolutely nothing that can cause, hold on. How do I adjust this screen? Okay. This means that there is absolutely nothing that can cause you to feel or experience love. And there is absolutely nothing that can cause you to feel or experience fear. Your emotional experience is your own responsibility. Program principle, form causes you to feel love. Form causes you to feel fear. This is not true. Let's discuss it. Discussion topic. Can form cause content, meaning love or fear?
Okay, Blue, are you in a position to read with Tyomi on this page?
Oops. Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on, as long as my connection.
All right, yeah, we know the program be messing with you, so.
Okay, is it my turn?
Okay. Tyomi, can you take this side, program side, and Blue, can you take the common sense side?
Yes.
Okay.
The program. When you spend time with me, it makes me happy.
Common sense. Is time form or content?
Time is form.
Is happiness form or content?
Happiness is content.
Will spending time cause happiness? happiness with every single person you spend time with?
No.
All right, Blue, we're going to tag somebody else in because your connection, once again, has been compromised.
Will spending time cause happiness in every single
Blue, we're going to have to tag
situation?
Blue, there's a slight intergalactic delay on your line. So, Dr. Special, are you prepared to pick up where Blue left off here?
Sure.
Where were you? We are here.
Will spending time cause happiness in every single situation, every single time?
No.
Well, that's because time is meaningless. You give time all the meaning it has for you. A little common sense goes a long way.
Okay, continuing. Thank you, Blue. Program won't leave you alone. I don't know what that's about, but I know you're doing your best.
You're welcome.
Okay. Zellian, are you ready to continue?
That I am.
Okay.
All right, truth principle. Form is a delivery service or a vessel for content. What does that mean? Look at form as a vessel that holds something. Look at content as liquid. That means there are two kinds of liquid. The kind that is safe to drink, let's say water. Two, the kind that is not safe to drink, let's say poison. You can carry liquid or content in many kinds of containers being formed. Cup, glass, jar, bowl, bottle, saucer, etc. Question. When you are thirsty, do you drink a cup or do you use a cup to drink? You can drink water from a cup or poison from a cup. The cup is not meaningful by itself. Neither is the glass, the jar, or the bowl. It is the purpose they serve which gives them meaning. In other words, a vessel cannot hydrate or poison you. Form cannot make you experience love or fear. In other words, a cup does not create liquid. Form cannot create content, being love or fear.
I hope that's clear. Thank you for reading, Zellian. And Clarence, are you prepared? Are you in a position to read?
I can read.
All right.
Important?
Yes.
Here's something to be aware of. Since you have been programmed since birth, you will give everything form, a meaning automatically. Truth principle. When you perceive form, there's always content attached. If you do not train your mind to think with the thought system content, hold on a second, of love, guess what thought system you will default into? That's right, the program, fear. Remember, trust is content, distrust is content. If you do not set the goal to trust with every person, in every situation, every time, you will experience distrust automatically. Conclusion. Clarity chart. Let's conclude this lesson with the clarity chart about what you've learned. Clarity chart on the next page. Form of content, clarity chart. Form. I gotta read this whole thing?
I'll read the content side.
Okay. Anything you can think about, anything you can detect with your senses.
Content, a way of thinking about something, a thought system.
Example, a conversation is form. A conversation is something that you can think about. A conversation is not a way of thinking. A conversation is not a thought system. There are infinite kinds of form.
There are only two kinds of content, love and fear.
Form is a vessel or delivery service.
Content is a thought system of love or fear. Example, a conversation is a vessel to deliver love or peace or fear, which is attack and arguments.
Form has no meaning of itself. If you give form all the meaning it has to you.
Love or fear are the only two meanings you can give to any form.
Example, a conversation does not have the same meaning to every person in every situation, every single time. Form can be threatened by anything.
Content cannot be threatened. Clear?
Clear. You now have a basic understanding of form and content. It will become clearer as you continue. Trust. Just trust. Now let's move on to setting the goal for trust in the next lesson. Ready? Turn the page.
All right. We made it through that.
Barely, but we did.
We did it. You know, that looks like money on your refrigerator. I was like, wow, you got a lot of money there posted up on the refrigerator. That's great. So takeaways, anyone want to share any takeaways from that chapter on form and content? Once again, I call it the most important chapter because that's where all of the topics and all of the books and all of the chapters is based on that simple understanding of form and content. And while y'all are talking, I'm gonna put up the page about form and content once again for us to look at. Any thoughts or insights, anybody?
I mean, well, just kind of reinforce the importance of just understanding form and content. And this, well, we know, and we've always talked about form as far as like the relationships, in a relationship context of you know, there's a form of relationship, which is your friendship, your brother, your sister, your mama, your papa, your child. Those are different forms of relationship, but also there's always the content within the relationship, which is what we have to mostly focus on. And then now, since this book is about trust, I see, you know, you're underlying this to importance. We're just reminding ourselves of the idea of form and content. And then there's the form of trust. The form of trust is that, well, maybe we'll get to it, but the form of trust is, if I think about it, like, or distrust is, I don't trust this person to not do what they say they're going to do, or you don't trust this person to the actual, maybe it's the actual action, but the content of your trust is that person loving, or we're not loving, it's still love or fear, but it's more so trusting their intention, trusting their deeper essence of wanting to be there, or trusting their deepest intent and sincerity of still having the love for you and the care for you, despite the action that's at hand. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And we're going to get into that as we get further into the book. So thank you for sharing that. Anybody else?
I was just going to say pretty much a bunch of concurrent statements. It's pretty much like the conversation we've been having this whole time. And like other days of like giving meaning to things. Giving your own meaning, deciding what things have to mean for you. There was something specific that I wanted to say earlier, but this thought eludes me for now.
Oh, thank you for the feedback and the thought, even if it's not all of the thoughts, some of them's there. So thank you. All right. Well, if there's no one else that wants to share anything, I'll just wait a little, a few more seconds if anyone has anything else to share or ask before we close out.
All right. Well, howdy. Hope y'all have a good day. We're going to see you guys later, and we'll reconvene and then at the next time. All right.
Here.
Howdy.
Miss Special, did you have something to say?
Well, I mean, you already closed out Dr. Special, so. I was just going to say that it's nice to have something so clear, like to break down into this small binary fear or love, but that it's a huge process to actually get to that point. Like it takes a lot of gears turning in order to like finally say you're being scrutinized, yelled at, fussed at, judged by someone who professes to love you, say a loved one, a family member. In that moment, how would you typically react to being attacked in a way? Would you like get emotional? Would the stuff flare up because you're like in this moment and it's heated and it's going and you're like attacked? Or do you sit there? Yes, cousin. Yes, aunt, uncle. Yes, I realize what you're saying comes from a place of love. And it's just the form you're using that is judgment on the weapon. Like, do you, like, it takes a lot to go there.
Well, that's a good point, because I actually had a conversation with someone about this too, which is what I call the spiritual program people that believe that as long as I'm presenting as peaceful and calm and I'm listening and I'm attentive and I'm loving and I'm communicating and all that, and I'm expressing my feelings and I'm speaking in a stable tone and all of that, that means something. It don't mean shit. You could be cursing and using profanity and saying, you know what, cousin, fuck what you saying right now, because it don't mean shit. And you can still be loving, because you don't have to be, I know you're just having a call for love. It's like, you know what, fuck your call for love. I know it is, and I'm innocent, you're innocent, and I just not gonna sit here and listen to it anymore, because I don't have to, and I'm free, and you're entitled to your feelings, and I'm entitled to not hear about them. So it's, and if I'm going to sit here and hear about them or whatever, then I can do that too, but that's my gift to you. It's not because I have to, just because you're my cousin, So the idea that a loving person presents themselves in some kind of way, because we've all been programmed about this too, that's bullshit, The people that are getting
still catering
triggered,
to form.
yeah, it's all form, because me saying bullshit is just a word, it's form, but some people's like, oh no, you're talking about love, you can't use those words. Or can I? And so that's the other thing, just to realize that it's your internal workings, your internal space that has to be monitored to decide where you're at. If you're in a state of love and state of trust and a state of sincerity and serenity, while you're rolling your eyes and saying, I really don't give a fuck, It doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you don't want to deal with that right now, and you don't have to. And so, and you could also, we all had the situation where someone's like, okay, I'm listening to you. Or the best thing, I like this example, where a kid does something and the parent says, apologize. And they're like, I'm sorry. And you're like, no, you're not. Like, so why force them to do, like, you don't even feel, they're like, I meant to slap them. I meant to take his truck. I meant to, trip him into the sand. Like, why am I'm just saying that so I don't have to hear a lecture about it later. Sorry, So it's not sincere. It's not real. It's not loving. It's forced. Love is freedom. And as adults, if you don't want to apologize, don't apologize. If you do, you do. But remember that it's for you. Even if you apologize to someone or say, I don't feel good about the way I handled that or whatever, that's still for you. Because if you're saying that so that they can be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I was waiting for you to say something because, yeah, you owe me an apology. Then that's again, it's not.
How are you going to owe someone an apology? That's after you think about it, you owe me an apology.
Well,
no one owes you, like, to kind of like.
You owe me 2 apologies, bro. Number 1.
All right. Apologize. I said 3 times, so now you owe me one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh my lord! I actually just remembered my thought.
Okay, go ahead with your thought. I'm going on mute.
Well, I was thinking about empowerment, and what I was thinking, like just reading through this curriculum, one of the main things that I thought about is how this curriculum, I feel, definitely centers around empowerment. Like empowerment is at the core of it because it's always about like your power of decision and recognizing that and being able to see it. And I think a common fear is to truly be empowered because power is responsibility. And so, you know, they recognize how responsible they are for themselves and for their existence and for their experience and, you know, all of the things. And so it not only puts the ball in their court, it helps them to that's when you realize, like, oh shit, maybe I'm not even playing a game. Maybe I'm here by my own self. Like, I mean, it's just me and this ball, you know? So that was something that I was thinking about was just how empowering this curriculum is and how it's a reminder that we are responsible for ourselves and for our perceptions, and it does give us power, and that to me can actually be very relieving, but to other people can actually be a little scary, you know.
And I have, in relation to that, what you just said, I'm going to share the quote that I always bring up, and I'm going to share my screen too.
You really being special, sharing screens and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
The only one.
You can't be the only one sharing screens, man. Oops, excuse that. Got my text message up in there. I think this is it.
You got text messages from somebody besides me? Oh, bro, you owe me an apology.
Why does it keep? It's not allowing me to. All right, never mind, y'all. I don't know how to stop video. Never mind. But it just reminds me of, you guys know the quote, "My deepest fear."
Yes, from Marion Williamson.
Yeah. Hide self reading. How do I do this? Stupid. All right.
It's not Marianne Williamson. It's Nelson Mandela. I had to be special.
Oh, well, thank you for being special and throwing the special monkey wrench into that. So yeah, now I have to apologize for saying the wrong thing, and you made me feel guilty. So thanks.
You owe us an apology.
Can you guys still see my screen?
You know what, CalySōl? I'm just gonna, you know.
Here we go. Y'all can still see my screen.
Remember your triggers.
Yes, I'm very triggered right now. So I love you, CalySōl, and I'm sorry.
I love you, Dr. Special. Oh no, you're not Dr. Special.
You called me someone else. So now you owe me an apology.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You called yourself someone else. What you mean?
But yeah, here's the quote. It says, "Our deepest fear," can y'all see it?
Yes.
It says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is not our light, not our darkness. It is our light, not our darkness that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, and talented and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do, and we were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not in just some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others the permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others." But just as far as when you mentioned that, we are actually like fearful of our responsibility of being the power that's within. That's what I read that. Anyways.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that you sharing that quote.
Everybody, I'm out. I'm headed out. Hope you guys have a great evening. I have another call to get on.
Well,
thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Special.
And thank you, everyone. CalySōl, Carla, Dr. Special, Miss Special.
No doubt.
What?
No, he was. We were showing special love.
Oh, special. See, why y'all? I'm trying to be inclusive, and you interrupt within specialness. Anyway, Dr. Special, Tyomi, Blessed Love, Clarence, Carla, Adaugo, Special McSpecialton, and everybody else. I can't get around to it all, but y'all know who you are. And until next time. Also Durag Special, because that was me, Clarence. Special. You know, thanks for starting that, Clarence. I appreciate you all, and tomorrow we'll pick it up with the next chapter on. Well, let me see what it's on real quick, because I don't even know. Oh, setting the goal for trust.
All right.
Thanks for joining, everybody. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Hi.
All right, so those of us who are here, we are here. We're doing another Durag special. So Clarence, come to y'all.
Quarantine's time, man.
Hey, quarantine time, baby. Quarantine Durag gauntlet. So, you know, we gotta get it right.
Gotta make sure all the knowledge stick right here. You know, the knowledge can't leave like this.
You gotta put a strap on it, keep it in.
Adaugo is joining.
There we go.
Welcome, Adaugo.
Hi.
So, good evening. Okay, here we go. We're going by our screen names today. So we got Midnight Special, Dr. Special, Special McSpecialton, and Clarence.
Right.
There's a lot of specialness in this group today. I was supposed to be the only special one, but now
he doesn't even need it in his name.
What's that?
He's the ultimate special person because he doesn't even need it on the screen.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You don't even need to put a space between his first name and his last name. It's just Clarence Ball. It's one thing. It's who he is.
That and I use this account for work. So
yes. So.
Same thing.
Oh shoot! What did you do to your name, Clarence?
Did you change it? Durag expression. Skip it.
Okay, so guess we should begin. Welcome everyone to Love 101 Media. This is our Trust is Not a Game edition.